Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Gurur Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. With these words and preachings from our Indian culture, our Hindu culture, I would like to welcome Swami Mukundanand to YoIndiaTV. This is a beautiful occasion. We are at the Radha Krishna temple in the Bay Area, and with Swamiji's grace, we are able to get a few minutes to learn more about the temple and Swamiji yourself. So I'll start with asking you, why did you quit your material life even after getting a rubber stamp from IIT and IIM, the best institutions of the world, some of the most prestigious institutions of the world?
There is a call of God that arises. One cannot explain why it arises. Some people say it is your sanskars of past life. Whatever be the case, when that call comes, it comes so strongly that one cannot resist it. That was my experience. While I was doing my MBA still, my mind got diverted towards God. So I was doing my bhakti alongside with studies, and I did take up a job, but in 3 months I decided that I would rather dedicate myself to the service of God.
So, you're one of the rarest people who have come out into sannyas at such a tender age. I think 23 is very less age. Most people are not even ready for marriage. So what I understand is, from point of Hinduism, you skipped some of the ashrams and you directly went to the sannyas ashram. So how's the experience?
You are very correct. There is brahmacharya ashram, a student life, grihastha ashram, household life, vanaprastha ashram, semi-renounced, and then sannyas. But our scriptures also say, yad harev virajet tad harev prabrajet grihadva vanadva brahmacharyadva. Whenever this complete sense of renunciation comes, you are welcome to take sannyas. If it happens at a young age, that is also fine. So my own experience has been that life has been so beautiful, relishing the wisdom of God, singing His glories, sharing His teachings with everyone, that if I were to retrace my steps, I can't imagine choosing anything apart from this.
Beautiful. So, Vedic scriptures is something that we rely on a lot. We are all advised to do proper reading of our scriptures, to understand in depth, to absorb the essence. And
Translation. The Lord said, those who fix their minds on me and always engage in my devotion with steadfast faith, I consider them to be the best yogis. To understand Sri Krishna's answer, I will refer a little to the Srimad Bhagavatam. There, Sutaji Maharaj explains to Shaunakadik in the 2nd chapter of the 1st canto, he says, Vadanti tat tattvamidas tattvam yajnanam advayam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavaniti shabdyate. He says the Tattva Vedas, the knowers of the truth, have stated that the supreme divine entity, Bhagavan, manifests in this world in three forms. One is Brahman, one is Paramatma, and one is Bhagavan. You may say, Swamiji, these are just synonyms. Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagavan. Right, but they have different attributes. Just like ice, water, and steam. What is their commonality? They are all H2O, and yet their attributes are different. In one place there was water placed. You gave heat from below, it evaporated. Somebody said, I had put water here, where is it gone? You say it's flown off. But all the doors and windows were closed. How did it fly? It flew in the form of steam, not water. The attributes changed. Another person came from the hot August sun of Bay Area and said, give me water. And you gave him a block of ice. He said, what is this? This is also H2O. Arey Baba, this will not quench my thirst. The attributes are different. Likewise, Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagavan have different attributes. What is Brahman? That aspect of God which is all-pervading, which is full of eternality, knowledge and bliss, which is Sat Chit Anand. But it doesn't have a form, it doesn't do pastimes. This Satchidanand, all-pervading aspect of the Supreme is called Brahman, and it is worshipped by the Jnanis. So, the Shvetashvatar Upanishad states, Eko Devaha Sarvabhuteshu Gudaha Sarvavyapi. God is everywhere.
You have done very in-depth reading of all of these Vedas, Rig Ved, Sam Ved, Yajurved, the Third Ved, our Upanishads, the Bhagavad Gita. So, in a sense, what are the key bullet points? What are the key takeaways?
It all begins by addressing the question, who am I? So the Vedic scriptures inform us the body is changing, the mind is changing, the intellect is fluctuating. There's something unchanging from where your identity is coming, and that is the soul. So that is the first takeaway. The second is that this world has a creator who has put us here for some higher purpose. So the aim of life is not just to maximize pleasure or minimize pain or have comfort, rather to find my purpose and pursue it. And third takeaway is that all of us are the children of God. We have our relationship with Him. And in this human life, which is so special, we must try and attain that one God.
Awesome. So, mind management has one of the key things on your agenda, and you have been teaching your devotees how to conquer the mind, which is one of the most difficult things in the human form, because mind always wanders and imagination is a part and parcel of the game. So, how exactly in Hindi we call it Jitendriya, someone who has conquered their indriya, and then they can actually concentrate. I believe that this is one of the cornerstones to meditation. We really cannot focus if the mind cannot focus. But overall, in general, as a part of life, how would you advise someone to manage the mind in a right way?
Yes, in our personality there are so many aspects. And one crucial aspect is the mind, which is so powerful that sitting in heavenly conditions, it can make you experience hell. And in hellish miseries, it can make you experience heaven. So our experience of happiness and distress is coming because of mind. And God says, your surrender must be of the mind. External devotion is okay, but the mind is the cause of bondage and liberation. Now this mind is made of the material energy Maya, which has got three gunas in it, sattva, rajas and tamas. If we want to conquer the mind, we'll have to purify it. And to purify it, we'll have to attach it to the all pure. So the way to conquer the mind is to take the mind to the all pure. And then by His grace, it will get purified.
Lord said, those who fix their minds on me and always engage in my devotion with steadfast faith, I consider them to be the best yogis.
Super awesome, beautiful. So jkyog is this beautiful non-profit that you started in Dallas. It is headquartered in Dallas, and then the branches are way back in India in the state of Odisha. We have the Radha Krishna temple back there in Dallas, as well as this is one of the leading branches in San Jose. So it's everywhere, and the purpose is really doing a spiritual transformation. So when we say transformation, it is all inclusive, it's not just one, but many-fold, it has multiple aspects. So what all entails the spiritual transformation, and is it about taking everyone to the path of sannyas?
People are doing varieties of charity in this world. Somebody is giving food to the hungry, someone is giving medicines to the sick. As a spiritual organization, we do all these kinds of charity, but we believe our primary charity is to give wisdom, because the biggest shortage in the world is that of real wisdom. So we help people understand how to resolve the problems in their life through divine wisdom. And that is why our slogan is transforming the world through wisdom. So apart from that, of course, we would like to connect people to God. It's not a question of sannyas. You can be where you are, but have a change of heart. Prem bhav ek chahiye, bhes anek banaye. Chahe ghar mein vaas kar, chahe van mein jaye. We need a saffron heart and not saffron clothes. Those are optional.
That is so well put. So last but not the least, what is your message to all the viewers of YoIndiaTV who are inspired by you? I'm sure you won't advise them to leave their professional careers and solely adopt the spiritual journey. But would you tell us what we should do in our day-to-day lives?
Now, people who are watching your TV, invariably they are educated, they're qualified, they're from around the world, and sometimes they're the cream amongst the Indians, right? So they have spent so many years cultivating knowledge. But it was not sufficient because their whole focus was on material knowledge. There's another science. This is the spiritual science. So spiritual wisdom also needs to be cultivated. I would suggest to them to read our sacred texts. Because when the intellect gets illumined with proper knowledge and wisdom, then automatically our life veers in the auspicious and joyous direction.
सर्वत्र समबुद्धयः प्राप्नुवन्ति मामेव सर्वभूतहिते रताः. He is everywhere. Ghat Ghatavasi. That all-pervading form, Prabhu Vyapaka Sarvatra Samana, is called Brahman, and it is the Aradhya of the Jnanis. The second aspect of the Supreme Divinity is Paramatma, who resides in the hearts of each and every living being. So within you is the soul, that is the real you, and the Supreme Soul, that is the Paramatma. People say, मारने वाले के 2 हाथ, बचाने वाले के 4 हाथ. That 4-armed one is the Paramatma Vishnuji, who is residing within in his formless aspect as the localized Supreme Soul. Sitting inside, he notes our thoughts, our actions, and he keeps account. We will forget, but he does not. Dhritarashtra asked Shri Krishna that what karma did I do? In front of me my 100 children died and I am bearing the grief of their separation. Shri Krishna said it was not in this life, Dhritarashtra. 50 lives ago, as a hunter you went after a father swan and it flew away, which sent you into a rage. And while the helpless father swan was looking, you finished its 100 little helpless children. And this is the consequence of it. He said, why am I bearing the consequence after 50 lifetimes? Shri Krishna said, it took you 50 lifetimes to accumulate the punya, pious merits, to again get the human form and to get 100 sons. So God knows what we did at every moment of our life and all our past lives. And for each and every one of us, that indwelling Supreme Divinity, the Paramatma, is worshipped by the yogis. This is no different from Brahman. It's not that there are 2 gods. It's the same God in his second manifestation. And the third manifestation is when he takes an avatar. He descends in his personal form and does leelas and pastimes. That is called Bhagavan. Shri Kripaliji Maharaj ki Jai. Jai Jai Shri Radhe.
Wonderful, and thank you so much for your blessings. Thank you, Guruji.
Namaste.